Well, here's hoping that the second pot of coffee, the last of it in front of me, has kicked in enough that we won't be making any more of the mistakes we made the last two episodes. Checking. Yes, the microphone's on. Checking. No, it hasn't been turned off on this recording so that I'm talking to dead air. All right, we had a factory come in. New chain, new car factory. Great use. Came with a steel mill, 3 iron mills, or mines, I should say. Blah, 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 blah. Can't talk. Blee. And then we've got the car shop over at Springmouth. And the car shop's right there. Now, normally I would ignore the car shop, but Springmouth's been growing fast enough that having looked at it, I'm like, no, let's get the dedicated rail line into there. And we want to avoid the duck pond. Why? I'll let the city destroy the duck pond. We then don't take the hit with the ecology crowd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out is what I want before I do a turn. And then we're going to kind of do a diagonal over to here, and then we'll have to take and do a causeway section, a lift section, a fill. And we're going to build a fill out to about there. Lift, and then we will leave it wide enough so if somebody down the road wants to do a rail line through there. And this is a problem. Getting to this guy and getting in where we want to come in is going to be a pain. You know what? The road can go under us or over us. I've had enough. Still native. There he goes. Back to what it was. Do a simple slope down. We will take the financial hits despite the fact that we are financially hurting. And we will get everything positioned in the right spots again. Yeah, I did have to restart the computer. Some of the issues I am issuing. All right, do a leveling spot there. Let's go ahead and do our exploratory rail there. And then we need to tunnel under here. So we're actually going to tunnel under at that spot. And I did it that way so that I could slope the sides better. Down there, we want to do an up over here. And any other logging is going to have to go out the other direction. They'll have to figure it out. It's part of the chaos. The line going in at the moment takes all priority. All right, let's go ahead and set up our rail. Throw under the tunnel. Bring him up. And head him over towards where we're going to take him into the car plant. And for the car plant, we're going to do a tunnel here too. So we're going to blast out here. And a blast out there. Put our tunnel wall there and our tunnel slope, base slope there to allow the blasting of the tunnel. Perfect. And again, we got a duck pond. So we're going to actually have a station over here and a station over here, an inbound and an outbound station. So steel and plastic come in over here, separate station come out, and we'll also lay in the groundwork because people for the car plant work in Ashwell, Paulingfield, and Springmouth. So we'll need to tie into one of the passenger lines around here, or just lay a new one, which is what we usually do in Max Chaos, which is why we're losing money. All right, let's see what we can do. Now I do want to give myself a little bit of space at the end so that we're not quite there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need one more. 7. And then we gave him, so he's got to come out to there. And then that can be his dispatch point. All right. And then as far as a dispatch line, right there, off that one there, there's enough dispatch points. And then we could probably give a dispatch line because of where the steel is right there. But because of how it is, it's going to be a bear to get to. I think we might do a bridge across, see if I can bridge across the station with, well, tourist attraction rules, but I don't have those officially. Aha. Yeah, I have some rules I play by, and one of these days I'll take and type them up and put them in a format that I can put onto the screen. About duck ponds, distance around a tourist attraction that I can't put anything other than a surface line or a, high-speed elevated line. So I would have to dig him down and build the tunnel. Oof. You know what? We'll just bend the steel right there and bring him right down and then dig out and just have a low spot. He comes through a tunnel, rises up, and comes up. That's going to have to be what it's going to be. It is what it is, and that's all it is. The passengers are going to be a pain for the car factory. Steel factory, everybody's out at Oldmouth. So we just need to figure out a routing for a train over. We'll probably do a dive, come out, and then dig up slowly through this, or dig a trench that we come up into. Oof. Yeah, that's going to be pricey. It might actually be cheaper just to throw in some bridges. Doesn't help that the road system we got going in this town. Oh, and we're on pause. We were not ever supposed to do things on pause. The other guys don't like it. The other games don't like it when you do things on pause. All right. And then just to be safe, we will do the dispatch line there. Dispatch connector there. All right. figure out where that tunnel is going to come out, which is right there. So it ain't going to be a very nice setup where we've got the double climb, especially for heavy freight like tunnel stuff. And it ain't going to be very cheap. I wish it would proportion it instead of causing the same price all over. And a portion fairing way through, guys. All right, now we do the rest of the dig to allow longer trains. So we're going to be hurting for a while here. And then we'll just park a train up high, like right here on the high bank. He will tie into the station. Doesn't make sense, but it's passengers, so we'd want the passengers more at a different level anyway. Keep them away from where the freights are. Because employees are idiots sometimes. And that's 2 iron mines and a coal mine. And the coal mine's going to be a fun one to get to, too. All right. So our basic sets are going. Let's get rid of this stretch of rail right there. Now we got to figure out how to get from in the way carbon digs over here. And I think right there is the spot. And I'm actually liking the idea of doing it raise here because it's just the one spot, and then stone bridge it down. But we do want a longer than normal train here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come off this, get a couple straightaways, and then do an angle over here to take and do a climb up or a dig under. This will be a dig under to get to where we will come out here. Oof. This is going to be a 2-level dig if we do this. I like that. Problem is it doesn't come out in the right spot. So we really need to bridge over here and then bridge over here on this one and then come in a different routing. We should have bridged over. Do a bridge and make certain we clear, leave the duck pond underneath the bridge. It's still good. Jog a little bit to get clear of, whoops, still on bridge. Jog a little bit to get clear of our obstruction point. I'm not liking the fact that we're having to take a coal train up the hill, but oh well. It is what it is, and that's all it is. And then we got to do one pricier bridge. To get him to the proper side of the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's our turn-in point. right. Fun, no fun. One, two, three, four, five, six. Well, we can always extend out the back. We'll start with a 5 anyway. All right, let's start them out. So the production line. And then our inbound lines. And we may have to take into a extend and move the back. All right. And we'll have to get this guy a good name. Now we need a spot to dispatch him from. After we get rid of this line. No, we didn't want to get rid of that line. That was the line to the coral. Do me. We just cost ourselves too much money. There we go. So we're going to slope that back to that way. Do the slope things here that need to be done. And the reason we're going to do those slope things is we now have to do a bridge like this to get him over that. And then over to where he connects into his coal line. There we go. Good gracious. We're contorting ourselves here. There we go. I feel like a contortionist. Oh, and we can't use a stone bridge. We have to go with the concrete bridge because of the angled rail. All right. And we'll do a dispatch line like this with flagging. Flagging there just in case. And flagging here. All right, let's start running that coal. He would dispatch fastest. Coal comes to here. Does the super snake? No, we would want you know what? We're going to need a dispatch out here anyway. we will need a straight line one across the front, like this. So that's 6 deep. Digging back a little bit further. Glad I hadn't dispatched any trains to here yet. That way we don't have to retarget, which is we found out a couple of the other games lately, it is no freaking fun. There we go. And I just had a wonderful idea for the passenger connection to Oldham, which will spike in other railroads. We could have bussed them over, but I don't feel like trusting buses. So this is over to Wren's Peak. And thankfully, we did think in advance at Wren's Peak to an extent. So we can run in a new line here. Gonna have to do some raises though. Not exactly my favorite to take and do because trains and Simutrans are not as powerful as in other games for taking these short tunnel dips. And especially when you throw a bridge right behind it. Let's get this over here. Comes down off that. Hits here, and this is where we should have done our fills. There we go. Now we can launch the bridge over to there. Blast a tunnel. Connect on through to that. Go ahead and start speeding up the line for faster trains that will be on it, because plastics have to deliver faster. And there we go. And these are going to be wide inbounds. Six deep, that's good. Going to give it its own dispatch line. To get over there. And then we're going to do a production line here. 6 long. So that's going to be a bear to get up to speed, but once it does, he'll have a fairly straight shot. The steel is going to have the easiest time getting here. Good grief, we're at 26 minutes. Hey, we're going to finish this on the next video. It is Max Chaos. This is episode 45 of the Devil's Towers Max Chaos game. 1969 one. We're competing against the Fix-It to see who comes out better. Right now, it's looking like Fix-It's ahead, but not by much because we're actually ahead in time. So we'll have to see who is which when this is done. Or what year they go bankrupt in. Hey, I'm Kelly Jack. Have a better day than I've been having.